I want my baby to have your eyes. I'm going against my own advice. Should I do New York? I can't decide. Fashion week was more your thing than mine. I can't even lie, I'd rather stay inside. I can't do suit and tie. Can't be in one room with you instead.
Okay, whatever the fuck that was. Really, nigga? Really? I don't know. It's not even raining outside. It's like a chill ass day right now. Like, there's been other situations where I was about to move in with another nigga. I'm so glad I didn't, because he probably would have been abusive, or another abusive guy added to my roster. I'm glad. But he was light skinned. Like, I feel light skinned for the first time. That was okay, but I love dark skins. That's my preference. I'm sorry. But, I'm gonna fast forward so I can hurry up and get to like the New York part or whatever like that. Aside from Georgia, you know, Georgia is so fucking beautiful, I swear to God. But I just feel like I didn't have the experiences that I wanted to. Like, now that I look back, I'm like, because of the people that I associated myself with, because lack of knowledge, just like a bunch of shit. But I went to a couple places and seen the shit. You know, I went to the hood. I went to the, Midtown area type shit. She was all beautiful. I seen beauty. I try to see beauty in a lot of things. So my last job in Georgia was working at McDonald's. And meanwhile, trying to get money, like, Georgia, it wasn't easy financially, like, eventually, because then my mother wanted me to start paying rent, which I understand, because, you know, if you want to stay here, help contribute. Meanwhile, like, Georgia is not well, depending on where you go, but where we stayed, the rent, it wasn't like cheap or whatever like that. Like, my sister worked, my stepdad, he worked or whatever like that, and I worked, but I didn't contribute. So eventually my mother like, okay, bitch, it's time to contribute, bad. So it was like, okay. And at the time I was stressing about money, and work was not enough, so I put myself in certain situations. I'm just point blank and say prostitution, because that's what it was. When you give your body up for money, that's prostitution. And of course, I'm not proud of that and the things I did. But you know what? It is what it is, and it's a part of my story. So that's what it is. That's what it motherfucking is. I need to stop touching my face. I don't do this shit. I'm just like trying to gather my words. I'm like nervous and shit. I'm not nervous, but I don't know. So yeah, McDonald's, it was kind of like a minute up the street or whatever like that. Even for the bus fare in Georgia is like $2.50 or whatever like that. Sometimes, like, I ain't even have $2.50, and like, I can't ask my parents. Like, I don't like asking people for shit or whatever. Like, I'm very independent. I like having my own money and shit like that. And so when I can't be independent, that shit is very tragic. Anyway, sometimes I made it to the job, you know, by myself or whatever like that. The people that I met in Georgia, like, he was a manager. Getting to the nitty gritty finally, right? It took 10 fucking years. I'm sorry. But yeah, he was a manager at McDonald's. And then it was this other nigga, just a worker or whatever like that. And I'll say, who was the first that started talking to me? I think it was the younger nigga who started talking to me first at McDonald's, and then it was the manager. But I didn't know these two were cool, but they was cool or whatever like that. And okay, I moved it outside. It turned out to be rain. My blind ass just couldn't fucking see it, because I'm like what is that? Like, that sound like rain, but I don't see no rain. Anyway, we moved to the inside now. Inside Chronicles. So I think I was talking about, okay, yeah, I moved out my situation, on and off, whatever like that. Anyway. So I'm gonna fast forward. So I'm staying at their crib now, simply because it's easier access. They live whatever. That was his father's crib, which was easy access because that was like right by McDonald's. It was like just a 2-minute fucking walk, which is really convenient because I like to save money or whatever and go for the easier route type shit. So I end up staying there or whatever. Now I'm just thinking, I'm like, wow, I wonder what my mother felt in them situations. Like, wow, her child's not home, her child just doing whatever and being whatever. Yeah, so I stayed there because it was convenient. Eventually, that turned out to be another drastic turn in life. So this was all kind of like, September, okay, I'm trying to remember the fucking months. Anyway, this was kind of like the winter time area type shit, whatever, that I stayed there. I was fucking with it just felt wrong to me. Like, well, he was a Cancer too, but yeah, two signs together definitely do not mix. A Cancer and a Cancer, no. Like, not my problem. Like, I'm emotional, and his was emotional and angry, so I don't like anger. I'm not like good vibes, good fucking vibes. When I seen that side, I was like, oh no. And plus he was still talking to his like girlfriend or whatever, but she didn't live in the same state. Yeah, that was his situation. So I stopped messing with him, but still we was all in the same here. Just think of this whole situation. We probably are like this big ass triangle, bam, bam. Me and these two niggas, imagine how that's gonna fucking work out, okay? The older niggas started like talking and then connecting or whatever like that, but I didn't want to do it, but I still did it anyway. Like, I just didn't have a lot of self-respect and self-confidence at the time. So of course, if your brain and your whole body is telling you not to do something, I'm pretty sure you should listen to it and go with that. But I didn't. So anyway, New Year's Eve-ish time. So a couple of days before that, or maybe like a week or whatever, I gave him money so he can pay the rent or whatever like that. First time I gave him money for the rent type shit. I just wanted to contribute, of course, so I can still stay there. Cause I'm staying there and it's rent free or whatever. I'm like that. I don't want these niggas just think I'm bummy. Some bummy bitch just staying with them and not contributing. Yeah, Adventures in itself. That was, I mean, it had ups and downs. It wasn't all bad. Like times in there, like niggas, took that was the first time I took some that was the first time I popped a bean with them niggas. That shit was pretty lit. Popped a couple beans with them niggas. But that shit was so lit. I'm just remembering that now. I've been rapping and sweating my ass off. I'm like, turn the TV up, bro, and make that shit pop. And like niggas was rapping back and forth, rapping and shit. Couldn't even stop because I'm just like gone and shit, happy as fuck. But yeah, so we probably, okay, wait, I'm off track. I'm losing off the track. I was at the New Year's part. So New Year's, anyway, he ended up not paying it because it was an eviction letter. And then that was on the refrigerator for a couple of days. And then, but the day after New Year's, the police came, knocked on the door, came inside. You gotta get all your shit, get the fuck out, basically, and shit like that. So that's what we had to do. The police guys and the movers, they put all our shit out, but we just grabbed what we could that was important to us before they tossed everything out the door or whatever like that. So our plan after that, we come up with something. Well, after we walk around just trying to think what to do. Mainly they trying to come up with a plan because I mean, I can't go back home. Sometimes I could go back home, but a lot of the times I couldn't go back home. This was like heading all towards the end. I just disrespected my family too much, especially my mother. Like how you gonna keep disrespecting the person and, you know, expect them to be like open arms like all the time? Like, she did it a lot, but then she just got tired of it, which I completely understand, because don't nobody want all the extra fucking drama in their life. So she just let me figure out life for myself. So yeah, them niggas came up with a plan, get a hotel, whatever like that. The older guy got his sister to my lips looking a little cooking right now. He got a hotel, whatever, for like one night. His sister dropped us off type shit. This was like I feel like this was like my first process of like slowly becoming like homeless type shit, because it is poor choices that I've made, and I've been really naive, and such as kids do. Oh, you don't know. Oh, you telling me this? I know you may be right about something, but I'm just still gonna figure out myself and do what I want to do. Like I said, naive type shit. So anyway, me and all the guys in the hotel type shit. It was cool, but the next day or whatever, when it's time to leave the hotel type shit, them niggas asked me, you know, because I'm a female, and they probably thought, okay, since she rock with us this far, she probably gonna rock with us to the next level, some stupid shit or whatever like that. Like, they asked me a question. They was like, okay, so what you about to do? I was like, so what you mean what I'm about to do? They was like, okay, you would like to sleep here for another night, right? And I'm like, yeah, that would be cool, shit. Like, I ain't got nowhere to go. And then it was like, okay, so you about to go make something work? Like, basically they were saying that I want to prostitute myself in a hotel or whatever like that, so they can stay another night. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, of course I'm gathering all this information in, and I'm just like, wow. Like, that's the first thing, is like, wow, like, are you serious? I'm like, oh, but I bet, like, I bet, like, y'all not finna do that and shake y'all little asses and just swing y'all dicks around for no money. So y'all ask me, Karina's not gonna do that. No, not for you. I mean, not for you, just not periods. I have periods where I've done, like I said, done things that I didn't want to do, but now I had an actual choice. Was I gonna do that shit or not? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that shit. So anyway, long story short, the younger guy ended up going back to where he's from, somewhere else in the South. And then the older guy, he's originally from Brooklyn. So I go to Brooklyn with him. And we took a Chinese bus all the way up from Georgia to New York City. That was an adventure in itself too, because, you know, people don't really show their true colors. Like, they may show little snippets, but you don't pick it up because you're not really focused on that type shit. It's kind of like when the big signs and red flags show up, then you're like, oh, hell no, nigga. But yeah, so when we got there, seeing the whole fucking scenery, it's still wintertime at the time, you know. Probably like less than a week after the eviction. That's when we left or some shit like that. Damn, I should have a blunt right now. That would be dead good. You know what? That's gonna be another video. I'm gonna be like, what's up? How you doing, man? What's up? It's good. But